Hey, everybody, welcome to our first episode of Astral Stew with the
Stew, stew, stew.
with the
Astral stew.
guys Astral Stew, not spelled Stustew. None of us are named Stew. So,
Mm-mm.
um, this episode we're going to be talking about crop circles. You've got Josh Rutledge here from Fear Scare Paranormal Podcast. Stefan, to me, this is I'm pointing to Stefan Gearhart
It's
from
correct
Fearscape
on
Paranormal
mine.
Podcast,
It
and
wasn't on mine.
Santosh down for me. I don't know if he's down below for you or not, but Santosh.
He's usually down.
Putting me in the bottom box, that's profiling. I won't have it. It's crimes against my
He
people.
wants to be in the middle, like what's her name from the Brady Bunch?
What was
Alice?
her
Alice, yeah, the maid.
name?
She has no name. It's the maid.
The maid.
The
So
I have no family, but I have a boyfriend.
so back when people used to have live-in maids. So
Mm-hmm.
anyways, this episode is sponsored by the great folks over at Box Mountain. They have a couple of different monthly subscription boxes. They have one for like dice. I'm not a dice collector. I'm probably saying it wrong. Is it
Ooh, I
dice?
am with D&D.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of different sided dice or whatever you can get
Nice.
dropped monthly. They also have one for creators where they drop you like all kinds of try yourself 3D printing stuff.
Why did it take me this long to get that you were talking about monthly boxes? Like, I don't know where I was, but yeah. So subscription boxes.
Yeah. So they do. So they have three that they offer currently. One is for dice. One is for creators stuff. Like they send you
Mhm.
3D print material and stuff like that. And then the
That's
last one is Cryptid Crate, which is my wife got me one earlier this year for my birthday, and it has all kinds of like cryptid stuff in it. Like I got a book and a keychain and a patch that all was still to do with the Flatwoods
Yeah, and
monster.
they usually theme it. You had the Flatwoods monster, which was
Yeah.
great because we had just been out there.
I know we just been there.
To see the Flatwoods stuff, so that was kind of cool.
Oh gosh, I'm like, why didn't I send you all that TikTok? Somebody was drawing the Flatwoods monster, and I thought of you guys.
Oh,
Oh,
You know,
When-
sweet.
Oh
When-
my God, thank you so much, Santosh.
when it counts the most to not send the very best. So
Right. Thinking of you.
Well,
Thoughts and prayers.
well, I'm ready to get Astral and Stewie.
okay,
I think you're always Stewie, but I'm always Astrals.
Lewis, you're always Astral. Josh is always gliding.
Yeah. Why am I the butt of all his jokes? So
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways, so tonight we're going to be talking about crop circles, and crop circles have, like, as far as in the news and stuff, have pretty much calmed down, but they still happen every year. I don't think that people really realize that they're still happening every single year, but you don't really hear
people
about it.
have gotten so disenamored because of all the hoax ones that are out there
Yeah,
that now no one believes any of them
yeah.
at all.
Well, and you know that, like, I actually came across an article which I sent you guys that talked about this this guy back when Disney was putting out the Signs movie. He had done a lot of crop circle research, and Disney approached him to say, "Hey, can we use some of your research and pictures and stuff in the movie?" And they actually, according to this guy, they tried to commission him to make a crop circle so as to hype the movie that was going to be coming out.
Oh, so like some
PR
guerrilla
stuff.
marketing.
Yeah. And so he refused, and he was like, "I take offense, sir," whatever. But they ended up getting some local people to do it anyway. And like you said, I mean, it brings a whole lot of doubt to whether or not all of them are fake, or some of them fake and some are real, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
I went out. I've actually been doing a lot of research on the topic lately, because in that I think it was the CE5 group that I'm on Facebook, or it might have been the MUFON group. I can't remember. But this guy dropped in there and he went and looked all the way back to 1990.
I'm pretty sure it was the MUFON group because I think I saw it.
Okay.
I wish it would have been the Muffin group, but it was not. It was the MUFON group.
By the way, when our good friend the theologian was doing all those different elf on the shelf type things, I was going to put Stefan on a muffin, but it doesn't really work. It doesn't work.
You could put stuffing on a muffin. That's what my sister calls me, is stuffing. And when I was a kid, my nickname was Stovetop Stefan.
Oh, that just hurts.
Yeah, I hated it forever.
That's
Then I realized
some raw truth sharing I wasn't ready for tonight, my friend.
And then I was like, well, why can't I be something that I love? And so I embraced it.
So, and then
like,
you became a
at
turkey.
least call me, yeah, I was like, at least call me Turkey.
Oh, so
Or season or what's the herb one? It's
the herb one?
Oh, like herb and sage or something.
Oh,
Whatever.
What? I don't know what.
Oh, he's talking seasonings. He's talking seasonings now.
I'm talking my favorite flavor, and I can't think of what it's called. I just want to call it seasoned herb, but I know it's not seasoned herb.
It's probably seasoned with herb.
Yeah.
Or seasoned herb. It's an old guy who's just been through a lot.
Yeah.
Shout out to Herb if she ever hears this.
Right.
Yeah, Herb.
So, anyway, we have a lot of fun. So, crop circles. This guy went back and looked at all of them from like starting in 1990 forward and put them all on like these various little graphs, which I'm going to show up here on the screen here a little bit, just kind of flash through them.
He basically showed every like essentially a picture of every single crop circle since then,
since
like,
the 90s.
Not a picture, but just a facsimile.
He prefaced it as he did an artist's rendering of what they were. But something I really noticed, and you'll see when I'm flashing through these, is that every year, with the exception of 2016, the very first one was a solid circle. Like, and it, not all of them correspond with January, but the very first one for every single year except for 2016 was a solid circle.
So it's like they had to check the stamper, like to make sure it was stamping. Yeah. Like, okay, now we can put in the pieces.
Well,
it's the symbol they consider universal for communicating language through art.
Well, so some of
that could be. Yeah, like the starter. Like that's how every
like we all agree on 1 and 0. Now we can speak in binary.
Well, and that's really where I was going with it, is I was trying to look at them and say, are the first set, are they trying to teach us a common language? And then are the later sets built on that common language? So like, because when you look at them, they first start off with like a solid circle, then there's an open circle, then there's a circle with a dot in the middle, and it kind of progresses like that. And then when you get into the later sequences, it's like a series of filled in circles and a series of open circles. So it's like,
so do they ever get like a circle, dot, so that they can give the Earth its cootie shot?
Was so with you the whole time. I hate myself for
legit though. I do want to say I did a little research myself, and I did not know this because I always thought the first one was the one that took place in like the 60s or whatever. But no, this goes back like hundreds of years. I mean, there was an old legend called the Mowing Devil that was old folklore. And in fact, there's a woodcut of it that was part of a newspaper print in Hartford from 1678 that they called the Mowing Devil legend, in which an English farmer told a worker with whom he was feuding that he would rather pay the devil himself to cut his oat field than pay the fee demanded. The source of the harvesting is not unknown or mysterious. It is indeed Satan himself, who, complete with his signature horns and tails, can be seen in the woodcutting holding a scythe and cutting different designs, of course, which they considered were demonic
Yeah.
back then, into these crops. And so this is something that has been happening a long, long, long time. But of
That's
course,
the
back
devil's
then,
circle.
yeah, that's what they always called it. So they called him the mowing
What?
devil.
The mowing. I
mowing
know. Oh, jeez.
I mean, I had a neighbor that was the mowing devil. God, I mean, but yeah, this is, I had no idea.
I've shared a
that it
bathroom with
stretched
you. You're a fucking mowing devil.
back.
Oh,
But
sorry. We
yeah,
can't
it's
cuss
like-
on these. Don't let me demonetize you.
I'll bleak it.
But yeah, so I thought that was very, very interesting because I really did. I thought that was really just a 20th century thing, but it was interesting to go back and find out that this has indeed been something that's been happening. They say it's more than likely was happening long before that. That's just the first documented thing that we have on it.
Well, and what's really, I mean, so taking a step back here a little bit to the, the idea that somebody is like making these
A self-portrait.
and
Yeah.
not like that they're actually intelligent design type things. I mean, like this one here, this, and I don't know, this has been heavily criticized as to potentially
Oh
be,
yeah, this looks fake as all get out to me.
but
This
like
looks computer generated.
yeah, but I mean, so then you got one, like, so the thought process is that if you take something that is really potentially difficult to make, then it must be, aliens that did it. But then you look at this one, that is so intricate, and you can tell it's like actually in the field. I mean, you can see the different, like, here's a couple of different angles and stuff. I mean, you can still see the wheat. I mean, how did people do that on, like, in the middle of the night with a board and strings?
Well, with
I've been to
this one,
Burning
I mean,
Man, guys. I've
again,
seen cooler shit than that.
yeah, I was like, and I gotta say though, I mean, these first two here that you've shown look more human made than anything I've seen. Now it's still absolutely fascinating, but I mean, we've got leaves and just some things like that that just look so human made. And yes, I mean, they've shown how it's done now. Like, I mean, it
Oh, yeah.
is, and that's the thing. It's so easily done now. Especially with computers and things like that, that sucks because it takes away from the legitimacy of
Yeah.
the real ones. If there are real ones, I think that there are, but some of them, like I said, this one with the leaves, I mean, it looks like somebody's decorating for Christmas.
But like, what's this?
Maybe they're wishing you happy holidays, sir. Have you ever thought about that?
Right.
But like, what's this writing along the outside edge? Like,
Is it writing?
That up? Yeah,
Yeah.
is it? It's Klingon.
It could be.
Well, it's mirrored on the other side in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right there and right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's these ones
actually,
that show...
and then counterclockwise, it looks like if you look across, there's repetition.
Yeah, it's these ones that show kind of earthly type images are the ones that I'm a little skeptical of, because the ones that are just like geometrical and things like that to me shows math, using math as a way to communicate. These show art. These show someone trying to make something really pretty and cool. Like that's what it looks like to me.
Convey something through art. I had that feeling for a lot of the newer ones too. But maybe art is, could we call it a universal language? I don't know.
Now, if you would have had that same thing and took them leaves out of there, I'd have been like, what the hell is that? But it's the leaves. It's getting that
so
one.
Like,
I can't stand that first one.
Well, what like this one? I mean, it's pretty.
Okay, now this one I like, yeah.
Right? I mean,
this one feels more geometrical. It feels like some sort of language, some sort of something,
Yeah, I mean, and this doesn't look like this repeats itself anywhere. Although these,
you got quadrants in the arc and the Ankh effect by putting the crescent moon over top the, not equilateral. What are they called when they're across? It's equal. Oh well.
I don't know, but yeah. So I mean, there are definitely some, and this is just, these are 5 that I found. I mean, there are hundreds, if not thousands, that you can find. But you're right. I mean, the question is always, how many of them are legit and how many are not. And I honestly don't think that every single one of them is a hoax. But I do think that, especially back in the late '90s, those guys that came forward and showed with the board and stuff, like
Well, the guys that came forward, they were the ones that did the original one. I thought that was the whole like big thing, was that they were the OGs and they came out after 30 years and said, "Look, here's how we did it."
yeah, but also, I mean, who's going to say they didn't?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, is ET going to land?
That dude that tried to stamp his self-portrait in that very first picture, that dude, that's who's going to say, no, it's mine.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing with, oh man, I just lost because I'm thinking about that dude that stamped his face in the first picture. Oh, well, I don't remember now. Damn it.
But you know,
oh, I mean, Bigfoot, the guy that took that really famous video of Bigfoot, his kids like said that right before he died, he confessed and showed them the suit and all that stuff, and that it was all a hoax. Like, and you know, these guys were at the end of their lives. You know, we hear that a lot, those, you know, deathbed confessionals, either A, to come clean, or B,
these guys
to
were in their
kind of
60s.
make sure their families aren't ridiculed, you know.
Even serial killers want to get caught.
Yeah. Yes,
but I also think here was an opportunity to take credit for something that nobody else is going to step up and take credit for.
Right. Now, the interesting thing is that on another thing that's happened is that a lot of these, of course, supposedly lay across ley lines. You know, when you go across those traditional ley lines, these tend, now that's something that, you know, like a farmer, is he just being like, well, oh, what I got a ley line? Well, shit, honey, get the Mac going. We got get that Commodore 64 going. We gotta get this.
Can that be our next Dome Chance title? Lay across ley lines.
Absolutely. But that's another thing. It's like these you know, these are almost all across ley lines, you know.
Well, and that's the other thing, is that most of them happen in like Europe and the UK. You know, there have been a few that have happened in the US, but for the most part, it's like Europe and the UK. So is there something about that area of the planet that makes it more whatever? People have talked about, just like in the Bermuda Triangle, there's a similar type zone up around the UK area and everything, where some of those ley lines come together. So maybe there's something unique about that particular area. You know, something I was going to say earlier is, you know, you talked about Santosh, what if they were, you know, trying to lay out a common language, but what if those circles are not meant for us? What if they're like, we were here,
loading and unloading in the white zone only?
Well, like we were here, we're checking in, we're punching our time card, and then,
or it's just space graffiti.
Yeah,
true. Graffiti.
You know, because it's very similar. It's very similar to what's down in South America, where they have the really large pictures that are drawn.
You're talking about the Nazca lines,
the petroglyphs type stuff.
Yeah, but those ones that are like just miles long.
Yeah.
You know, that there's no way that they would have been able to do that, right? And you'd only be able to see it from above. It's like, is this just another form? It's like, hey, well, we only had the pencil forever, and then somebody was like, oh, well, let's use ink, right? Or vice versa, or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, here's another way. Or paint shows up all of a sudden. It's like, here's a new way to, or it's a different species, or I don't know. Check the guy in the first picture.
Well, what's really funny is the whole like I totally just lost my train of thought. Damn it. Oh, come on. Oh, and is it CE5 with Stephen Greer, when the light ball comes out of they have it on video. You know what I'm talking about, Stefan?
Yeah.
Well, they catch.
And that's where their symbol showed up in a field. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. So I mean, that's a light bulb, and now granted, it's like some poorly shot video, and I guess somebody could have made it with some CGI card or something like that. But there's always going to be skeptics that would make that argument, and there's always going to be believers who would argue against. So,
I mean, if there's anybody, and I know I don't know him personally, but if there's anybody I trust, it's Stephen Greer. I mean, like, there's just, I don't know.
yeah,
he's not, I just don't catch him as the guy that's gonna like hoax
Yeah,
some stuff. Like,
I don't take him as the guy who's out for personal glory.
right.
He is really trying to bring apart some sort of bring upon some sort of a change, and a hoax from him would be severely detrimental to the message he's trying to convey.
Hmm.
Yes, 100%. And the fact that that's happened a number of times, in fact, he has a meditation to use that apparently has been successful with others.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
that symbol has shown up in neighboring
Yeah.
fields and stuff, which I just find fascinating.
So yeah, so to just kind of wrap this around, not to spend too much time on it for our first episode, but crop circles are still happening every day, and not every day, but every year, and several people are going out and making them, and I guess I would ploy, I would say, like, please stop, because then, or like, at least maybe put your initials on the one that you're gonna make, so that we know when it was a hoax versus it
Yeah,
wasn't.
take credit. I mean, it's almost like the damn monoliths, man.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like now all of a sudden, like one got some press, and now all of a sudden there's a bunch more everywhere. I'm
Yeah.
a little hesitant. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not even 100% what's going on
Well,
with mono,
the
but it's very
Sasquatch
similar. And
holding
no
that
one's
one was
taken
real.
Yeah.
the what?
The one with the
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch holding up one was real.
Oh yeah, legit. And the ones that the Christian conservative Republican guys that tore it down and screamed that it didn't love Jesus as they tore it down and dragged it and burned it. Real weird stuff, man. Real weird stuff. Just
Yeah. Just, you know,
Art begets art, hopefully.
yeah.
Hmm.
so anyways, if you're doing crop circles, take credit so that we can know the legitimate ones versus the hoaxes. If you're not doing crop circles, uh, look up for some crop circles because they're out there. Um,
Right.
and it's still a puzzle to be solved. I mean, if there are genuine ETs doing a crop circle on the planet, why are they doing it? It's still a puzzle to be solved. Just, what,
Right.
so
Like,
anyways.
I am Josh, I'm messaging you a crop circle that I found that is obviously man-made. I can't share my screen because you're host, but I'll just let you show it. I sent it on Messenger.
All right, hold on. I gotta see how to, let me save it, and then I'll share it.
And
here real quick.
I didn't pick this for any political reasons or anything. I was just looking
Yeah.
through 10 like unsolved ones and then 10 obvious fake ones, and it's the first one that popped up.
It's super legit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. So you can see right here that it is possible. Though this one you can see, though, you can see the lines going that constantly keep it connected, which is what is a pretty common telltale sign
Yeah.
of man-made ones.
Etch a sketch
there is
style.
that.
I was gonna say, this is
Yes.
totally etch a
Yes.
sketch. This
Yes,
is like,
etch a sketch stuff, because the other ones, if there wasn't a line connecting, there would be brush that's pushed down. There would be
Yeah.
this and this and that. But a lot of the really great crop circles that are out there do not have that. And
Yeah.
that's what makes them fascinating. But
Yeah.
I just thought this was funny.
I actually found a guy on DeviantArt.
Mhm.
His name's like R71 or something like that. But he has a bunch of stuff, a bunch of different crop circles, and then a bunch of things where he has debunked some crop circles, and he actually has a guide that you can look at, and it tells you how to figure out which is a real versus which is a fake. It's actually
Very,
it's
very
actually pretty interesting. So,
So I sent you another one. It's dangerous though, so be careful.
like, it might attack me.
It might.
Oh.
It might.
All right, hold on.
I think it's interesting how people tend to like jump into either all fake or all real.
Right. There's not a lot of people in the middle.
But anything that's ever done is gonna somebody as soon as it's done, somebody's gonna fake it. Like you said with the monoliths. Like
Yeah.
there's going to be knockoff versions. That's just it. Even the intergalactic species have their own corner street Gucci purse salesman, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
There's some good ones.
Yeah.
And there's some fascinating good ones. But again, here you can see the lines connecting. But yeah, so you can have fun, and there are some really great artists that are out there that are doing things, but it's those that are trying to create a hoax that are the issues. Whereas I'm with Santosh. Why can't you believe that there are both? Same thing that with UAPs. It's like, why can't we believe that some may actually be military, some might actually be drones, some may actually be unexplained, some may be ETs or UTs? Why can't the possibility be there for all of that?
Some could be Banksy selling his stuff on a street just to prove a point.
Yeah.
Selling the Gucci
Like he
bag.
did.
Some could be
Banksy.
Amazon drones delivering packages.
Well, it's like the Toynbee, what are those called? The Toynbee mosaics that you can find all over the country and stuff like that are like just embedded into like streets and stuff like that. There's actual documentary where they're pretty sure they found the guy, and it's just like the guy that lives with his grandmother, and like it's crazy, but it's interesting. But check out the Toynbee tiles or Toynbee.
Yeah, he does all the little I keep saying the little ceramic Atari looking style.
Yeah, and it's just in random places in a wall, like embedded into street. Like people are like, how do you get it in there? Like, so it's interesting.
Walking by every day and chip a little bit out of this square, hope nobody notices.
Just weird stuff out there. Like, you know how there's like USB ports that are out there that you can like plug into and get like information from. Like people put like music or porn or art or just money or just weird stuff. If you find these USB ports,
you're not even talking about geocaching.
No,
right?
I'm not even talking about geocaching. I'm talking about like the stuff that
I know.
No like map. Yeah, I know. It's just there's some weird stuff out there, man. Like that's not even crop circles. That is legit man-made, and you're like, I'm like, I saw one of those USB ports embedded into a brick wall one time, and I was like, I can't do it because it may destroy my computer, but there may be some cool stuff or there's some weird shit. Like,
well, that's why that's why they sell those thumb drives on a keychain. It's for that exact purpose.
No, I know, but you still got to take the thumb drive to your computer.
Yeah, right.
That's why I need to be like, hey, theologian, can I borrow your laptop for a minute?
No, see, that's because I used to do this when I didn't do torrents. I would have a virtual
sentence structure.
I would have a virtual Linux machine on my computer, and then anything I installed on the virtual Linux machine, and that way, if it corrupted it and wiped it out, I just start over.
Interesting. Not. I would never recommend that to people to do.
No. And never do torrents because it's illegal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's
torrents are bad. Okay.
Torrents bad. Okay. The only pirate that's good is Jack Sparrow, just not Johnny Depp.
All right, we've been going at this for like a long time. Crop circles, check them out. Any closing thoughts on crop circles?
They're pretty circly.
Not all of them. Some of them are square. Some of them are.
What about sad oblongs? I want crop sad oblongs.
I will say I am definitely more fascinated by the ones pre
2000
computers. Even before then, like pre 1980, because it was definitely a lot more difficult if it was human, like to really have that kind of math already to create that kind of geometry, like, and just things like that. So even if it was human back then, kudos to you, because some of those ones back then are just absolutely fascinating. But yeah, I'm with you guys. If you're out there and you're making this stuff to create a hoax, stop. That's why we can't have nice things.
What the ETs will bring us if we, ask them. So
You thought you were doing fun little art, and you just insulted someone's intergalactic stepmom.
for real,
Yep.
Your mom's a snowblower, so
That's exactly what that
Right.
said. That one with the face.
yeah,
That's where that's what it said in that little record.
It's ridiculous, and that makes me have to do this. Oh man.
All right. So, if you've enjoyed this first episode of Astral Stew, click that like, click that subscribe. If you haven't enjoyed it, click that like, click that subscribe. Tell your friends, tell them all about this craziness that you watch.
Tell them all.
You will tell
Go,
them, or
go
you will be turned into a crop circle.
go tell it on the mountain.
Go tell it in a field of wheat.
In a field of wheat. That's what Kevin Costner.
All it is the Vulcans the whole time. They're like, if they can't even do basic math, then
No.
they don't deserve to be part of the Federation.
It was those celiacs and their hatred of all things wheat, and that's how we got here. It's how we got here.
That was the original pitch for Field of Dreams, was to be crop circles, but Kevin Costner was like, no, I like baseball,
No.
so
Corn, not wheat. Damn high fructose corn syrup lobby.
It's always them.
all right. So thanks for everybody for sticking
let us
around.
Know let us know what your thoughts are on crop circles and all that jazz. We'd like to know too in the comments.
And don't forget to check out Cryptid Crate, the link that was provided. And they're really good guys over there, and it's a really good value for what you get. So, all right, thanks Santosh, thanks Stefan. Well,
Thanks,
Thank you
Josh.
guys.
catch y'all next time.
Thanks.
Adios.
All right, catch you on the flip.
Not another byline.